It's the 14th of September, and I want to talk on today's video blog real quick about how this food plot that we drilled in, I think probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, somewhere in that time frame. I'm going to show you how it's doing and talk about some next steps here. It's doing really well on the spots where it took the best. I think what happened was I didn't have enough seed in the drill because there's a couple of bare spots out in the plot where it's not coming in real well. In fact, there's no plants there at all. So it would be a little bit odd if you can get nice, lush, perfect growth here, and then another part is not coming in. But that's because as I got down into those areas, I was running out of seed. So I need to come out here and broadcast a little bit more in. I would love to have noticed this maybe a few weeks ago, shortly after it started to germinate, so I could have got the growth to catch up. But if we have a late freeze this year and we get a couple more rains, which we're supposed to get, I can still get plenty of growth by broadcasting some Big N Beasty right now. It's not going to be nearly as good as what this is going to be in a month, but it's at least going to be food in there, whereas now it's just grass, dead grass. So that's got to take place. And the other thing too I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here probably later today or tomorrow and broadcast some urea fertilizer. Not real heavy, because I did fertilize this fairly well when we planted, but I do feel like, because it looks as good as it does, that I can top this off with just another dose of urea. Maybe if I put 100 pounds on here, that would give me more than enough, maybe a little bit less than 100 pounds on here. I'd get maximum growth with whatever amount of growing season that I've got left this fall. And Big N Beasty will grow past the first freeze, the first frost. A mid-October first frost, it'll still be growing up until almost November 1. You hate to put urea down right at the end of the growing season, because if the plant doesn't utilize it, it's not going to be there next year. The P and K, which is not the nitrogen, the urea is a nitrogen source. Make sure I clear that up, but the P and K fertilizers are very stable and they'll stay in the soil. I've noticed that the deer are starting to browse on some of it already too, and that's good. I've seen some big old buck turds out in this food plot. 2 of them, one over there and one right down here. We almost knelt in it. So I'm hoping that that's one of the bucks that I'm looking for here. I'm going to get my trail cameras out and see what we can find in this area. But if he's here, this Big N Beasty plot's going to hold him.